Hey guys, Zack here, and welcome back to another action figure review, and today we'll be taking a look at the Bandai Movie Monster Series Singular Point Jet Jaguar. Now, this version of Jet Jaguar comes from the 2021 anime series Godzilla Singular Point, which I've reviewed on the channel, so if you want to know about my, thoughts in greater detail, go check out that review. But as far as a brief little summary of how I feel, I absolutely love Singular Point. It is just such a great show. Like, I'm not even a big anime person, and even I'm convinced that this is like some S tier shit right here. Godzilla Singular Point is amazing. I absolutely love it. I'd go as far as to say that I think Godzilla Singular Point is probably one of the best pieces of Godzilla media to come out since Shin Godzilla. And I love Godzilla King of the Godzilla King of the Monsters. Don't get me wrong, I love that movie to death. But there's just something about Singular Point that I like more. It just has like very complex, and I like that. Whereas King of the Monsters, it just told like not a basic story, but it told a story that wasn't really as complex as Singular Point. In some cases, Singular Point might be a little too complex for some, but for me at least, it wasn't too hard to follow. I understood it decently well. I missed out on some points here and there, but overall, Singular Point is just such a great show, and I highly recommend you watch it. Even if you don't like anime, it's just like, if you love Godzilla, you will absolutely adore this show. It is just amazing. So, yeah. Anyway, before we take a look at the figure itself, let's take a quick look at his tag. So up front here, I didn't mean to bump the camera. I'm sorry about that. Alright, so for the front of the tag here, we have Jet Jaguar right there, both in Japanese and in English. And some more Japanese writing here. A nice little render of Jet Jaguar. And Godzilla 2021 right there. On the back, we have the teaser poster for Godzilla Singular Point, which looks really good. And on the inside, we just have some Japanese legal information. So, that's pretty much it for that. Now, we'll talk about the figure. And of course, to start, we'll talk about the painting on this figure. And the painting on this figure isn't too bad. Not the cleanest, but, for a Bandai Movie Monster Series figure, it is not bad whatsoever. So let's take a closer look. So, of course, most of the body here is this whitish color, which does look nice and is accurate to the show. So that looks nice. All of the bits of yellow, like on his elbow here and his shoulders, I think are painted very nicely. The little, I guess cockpit, I don't know if, it'd be another term, but the cockpit, because, in the show, people control Jaguar inside of here, but, yeah, the painting here looks pretty nice, very nice metallic silver, so it looks good. He has some bits of red on his torso here, which also looks nice, and, of course, the bit of blue around his neck. On the back of his legs here, there's this red wire, which looks alright. And of course his hands are painted a metallic, blackish color, which looks really nice. And going to the head here, we can see that the eyes are painted blue, and his mouth guard here is painted black, but here it just looks more like teeth, and it actually kind of looks creepy. It would have been nice if there was just black to sort of more paint to sort of make it look like it was a mouthpiece, like the original Jet Jaguar, but on this figure it just looks kind of weird. But yeah. Anyway, that's pretty much it for the painting on this figure. And the painting on this figure, it's not too bad. It's not the cleanest I've seen, but, it's still not a bad figure whatsoever as far as paint goes. It looks, really nice and presentable. So, yeah. The painting on this figure is good, so I'd say it gets a pass. Now we'll take a look at the articulation. And the articulation on this figure, it's good, but at the same time, there are some things that I don't really like about it. So let's take a closer look at that. So of course the arms here can move 360. The legs can kick forwards this much and backwards that much. And there's a swivel at the waist here. And that's it for the articulation. Though the thing I don't really like, the plastic quality, it's still vinyl, but it's it feels different compared to normal Bandai Movie Monster Series figures. So the joints in the legs here are they feel very loose and very fragile. They're probably not going to break, but at the same time, I wish I get what they were going for, and it does look a lot nicer than if they were to do it regularly. Because if they were to do it regularly, there wouldn't be like this like small joint. It would just be like glued there, and you wouldn't be able to move the legs at all, and it wouldn't look as nice. But at the same time, the legs do feel a little fragile, so that is one thing I don't like. But overall, as far as like the amount of articulation goes, I think it's pretty good, especially for a Bandai vinyl. Because with these kinds of figures, there's not really a whole lot of articulation. But the articulation on this figure is good, but I don't know, the legs just feel a little fragile to me. But overall, I do like the articulation. I think it's nice. So yeah, the articulation on this figure, I'd say wow, I think this is the first time I actually had to think about this. Probably like, I'd say it gets a full pass. Like, sure, the legs could be a little sturdier, but it's still not terrible. So I'd say the articulation gets a full pass. Now we'll take a look at the sculpt. And the sculpting on this figure is actually very nice. Very reminiscent to, what we see in the beginning of the Godzilla Singular Point anime. And I really like this depiction of Jet Jaguar. He looks more like an actual robot rather than a guy in a suit. And I love the original Jet Jaguar. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely adore Jet Jaguar. He's one of my favorites, actually. I know when I was younger, I made a video saying like, oh, I don't like Jet Jaguar. No, Jet Jaguar is great. Forget that video. But even this like design of Jet Jaguar, I think is really nice. He looks like an actual robot, and it's just cool looking. I like it a lot. And I think he looks a lot better like later on in the show, because later on in the show he gets like a longer pair of legs with like more of like the traditional color schemes that his legs usually have. Because the original design for Jet Jaguar, he had more like blues and yellows on his legs, where here it's just white. So yeah, I think he looks a little better later in the show, but I like his first design here. I think it looks very nice, and yeah, the sculpting overall is just very nice. So yeah, the sculpting is good, so it gets a pass. Now we'll take a look at the detailing, and the detailing on this figure it's alright. We'll take a closer look. So of course, there's a lot of like smoothness on this figure, but all of like the metallic bits of detailing, they look alright. Like all the screws on the side of the body here. And the actual cage part here of the cockpit looks really nice. The detailing on his face there looks alright. Some little bolts here, but nothing too crazy as far as detailing goes for the head. The arms here are detailed nicely. We do have some seams and whatnot for the shoulders and elbows, and even in the arms themselves, they're just very smooth, very metallic. Not too much to say here. The hands are detailed very nicely, defined and everything like that, very mechanical. So again, I like that very much. And going to the legs here, we have more mechanical detailing and more of like the paneling and everything like that. And I think the detailing here looks a lot better. So yeah, and this little battery compartment here, there's just that, but other than that, there's not too much. But honestly, you don't really need too much, because the design was like, even in the show, was very simple. So yeah, anyway, that's pretty much it for the detailing. I like it. The detail on this figure looks nice. There's not too much to talk about because this figure is mostly smooth, but like, that's how Jet Jaguar was in the show, so it's pretty accurate. But the detailing that is here, it looks nice. It doesn't look terrible at all, so I like it. So yeah. Anyway, at the end of the day, should you get this? I'd say yeah. This is a pretty cool little figure of the Singular Point Jet Jaguar. I like it a lot. And yeah, it's a cool little figure. It's not perfect, but I, again, really do like this figure. It's not perfect, of course, and the price tag. See, I ordered this on Amazon, and Amazon, they sell Bandai vinyls for not super expensive, but a lot more than you'd pay normally, so I had to pay like $30 for this. This figure is not worth $30, but there are other websites where you can order this figure for a lot cheaper. You can order it for like probably $15 or something like that. So 15 is a better price, and even 20 I'd say is fair. But don't do what I did. Don't buy this from Amazon because it's more expensive there. But overall, yeah, I do like this figure a lot. So I recommend it. It's an alright figure. Not great, but it's still good. So yeah. Anyway, let's do some size comparisons. So to start, here he is with the original Bandai Movie Monster Series Jet Jaguar. It's like seeing these two together. It reminds me a lot of Sonic Generations, where you have like modern Sonic and classic Sonic. Let me just there we go. Where you have classic Sonic and modern Sonic, and I really do like that. I mean, this is the newer design, but well, actually, I'm not going to go into too much detail there. But yeah, no, it's cool to see these two next to each other. Unfortunately, my original Jet Jaguar is not in the best shape, especially in the face here. It is very beaten up, especially now because like this figure, this original figure is very expensive now. So I really regret handling this the way I did when I was a kid. So yeah, but there they are. So they look very nice together. Here is the Singular Point Godzilla Ultima. And these two, at first, don't scale too well, but like later in the show, they actually do fight. So this scale is pretty accurate. I'd make Jet Jaguar a little smaller. Maybe like have Godzilla be like up to there or something like that. But overall, like towards the end of the show, I think that is a very accurate size for the two. And because I don't really have anything else to do a size comparison with that is, consistent or related to this whatsoever, here is the Bandai Movie Monster Series Kong. And of course, to end the size comparison, here this figure is with Dr. Billy Grant and some hand sanitizer. Alright. Now, that is it for today. Have a great rest of your week, and I will see you in the next video. Peace, Zack out.